everyone, this is Janelle with Age and Grace. Welcome back. If you're feeling like your body's changing in ways you weren't prepared for, you're not alone. Today, we're going to be tackling a topic that's incredibly important for all of us. Let's talk about how an anti-inflammatory diet can minimize episodes or symptoms of menopause or even peri-menopause while improving your overall health. I'm here to break down what an anti-inflammatory diet is, why it's so beneficial during perimenopause and menopausal changes that are occurring, and how you can start making simple changes to your diet to incorporate healing foods that come from an anti-inflammatory diet starting today, right now. So first, we have to answer the question, why does inflammation even occur in our bodies? At any time in your life, have you ever bruised or cut yourself? Inflammation is the body's natural response to healing and repair for us. Sometimes we can see inflammations grow on the outside with an example such as a skin injury. Inflammation plays a key role to create the healing process to begin within the affected area. So in the case of, let's say, if you bruise your knee, the body's inflammatory response would be to bring specialized blood cells to the affected area that's bruised in order to promote healing. This might result in some swelling if the skin is open, and with you bleeding, this is the body's natural response to eventually form a scab to repair the damaged tissue so that you don't bleed out or hemorrhage out. So inflammation, it plays a key role with healing the body, but there is a caveat to it. Even though we need the inflammatory response at times, if the body doesn't naturally turn off this inflammatory response, other health problems will occur. The body is so complex that even some disorders, such as autoimmune disorders, can be linked back to chronic or long-term inflammation within our bodies. Inflammation is your body's natural defense mechanism. It's how your immune system fights off injuries, infections, or any type of threats that it knows is trying to take place. Invaders, let's say. However, chronic inflammation is different. It's when your body stays in attack mode all the time, and over time is hypervigilant, which can lead to more harm than good. So let's go ahead and actually talk about what an inflammatory diet consists of. Exactly what is it? To keep it simple, an anti-inflammatory simply focuses on food that decreases inflammation within the body, while avoiding foods that trigger or encourage inflammation to happen. This is so important because long-term inflammation, as mentioned, has been linked to too many of our modern day diseases. So many people experience. But in this case, we're specifically going to talk about how inflammation impacts us during our transitional phase from our childbearing years to the menopausal years. For example, many women experience menopause symptoms such as fatigue, weight gain, mood swings, and believe it or not, even joint pain. This is so important to know as we get older. It would have been really nice if this was explained to us back in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. As estrogen levels drop, they become very low, and the body becomes more prone to this inflammatory response. Combine that with hormonal imbalances that often occur, and suddenly we're not just battling some common symptoms such as hot flashes or headaches or maybe some brain fog. But for many women, it becomes even more difficult to maintain a healthy weight or to lose weight. Think about it. Have you or anyone you know have that stubborn weight around your waist and gut area? There's a reason for that. For some of these symptoms they might just be annoying, but for other women, these symptoms can actually be debilitating. But there is good news. Research does show that our diet has a significant impact on inflammation levels within our body, resulting in combating symptoms related to menopause. So we'll go ahead and talk about what foods consist of a pro-inflammatory diet and what foods are consistent with an anti-inflammatory diet. In a nutshell, fatty, sugary, and processed foods fuel the fire that comes with a pro-inflammatory diet, while nutrient-dense and anti-inflammatory options can help put out that fire. Pro-inflammatory foods can be hidden in plain sight. We'll go ahead and discuss some of the most common offenders and learn what we can do to replace these common offenders with healthy, better options. Here are 5 foods that you could swap that are great to incorporate for an anti-inflammatory diet. Make sure you stick around to the end after number 5, because I have a little bonus for you that will just boost your anti-inflammatory diet and take it to a whole new level. Let's get started. So, first on the list, we have refined carbs and gluten. Foods like white bread, pasta, and pastries can spike your blood sugar and fuel inflammation. So those lead to a pro-inflammatory diet. It's best to swap out these foods with things such as gluten-free flour options like almond flour or oat flour, and choose whole grains like quinoa or brown rice. So number 2 on the list, we have certain sugars and sweeteners. Added sugars don't just trigger inflammation, they can worsen mood swings and fatigue. Swap these out with fruits for sweetness. Have you ever tried berries in particular? They're loaded with antioxidants that help fight inflammation. I have to mention though, even though I said added sugars are natural options too that really work well. Dates are an incredible option. They are in their natural state. They are naturally sweet, and they have minerals and vitamins that haven't been pulled out from them compared to refined sugars such as white or even brown sugar. So definitely there are options out there. But even with that, you want to be very careful, because anything that's raising your blood sugar, especially if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you want to be very careful, because even with the alternate sugars, the more natural sugars, they can still raise your insulin level, which will ignite a pro-inflammatory response. So if you choose to use sugar, use it very sparingly. But ideally, to be honest with you, I think we all, even if you're sticking with fruits and berries, we all could probably curb back our sugar a little bit. Number 3 is sugary drinks. These do include carbonated drinks, even alcohol too. So soda, alcohol, these sugary drinks, they could cause bloating, they could cause blood sugar spikes and crashes. So just as quickly as your blood sugar goes up, it crashes just as quickly as well. And that yo-yo effect is very damaging to the body. An option for sugary drinks is just good old-fashioned hydrating water. Another thing to mention with sugary drinks, they're very dehydrating as well. And our cells need water, just unadulterated water. Herbal teas are good as well. And also smoothies made with fruits that are low sugar content, such as berries, and not only fruits, but smoothies with greens in them as well. They are nutritionally dense. They taste amazing. It might take some time to get used to it if you're used to just drinking a lot of sugary drinks, but your body will thank you. Your body will make the adjustments it needs to get used to taking in nutrient-dense foods that it actually craves for. Next on the list, we have processed foods. Now, this one's actually near and dear to me because for a long time, I ate out of convenience, and convenience came if it was fast food, if it was something in a box, if it was just something convenient. And I grazed a lot, which is, we'll talk about that habit in another video. But with processed foods, this includes things such as packaged snacks, boxed meals, and frozen dinners. These type of meals are often loaded with unhealthy oils and preservatives. A healthy swap for this is very simple, but it's an adjustment, is preparing meals at home with fresh ingredients, whole ingredients such as leafy greens, lean proteins, and healthier fats. Remember, if you're not sure if something is processed or you don't know how processed it is, that's okay, because technically, unless you're a food scientist, the average person doesn't know the chemical breakdown that's placed in these foods to be kept on shelves. But think about it like this. How close is it to nature? Is it something you would find in nature that had grown out the ground? Or is it something that may have grown outside of a lab? So take that into consideration. We really want to nourish our bodies with what our body can naturally assimilate and take in and utilize to give us the energy, not only energy, but what it needs to repair itself. And foods that are more on the processed end, they tend to lead more to inflammation, and which just adds to that internal fire that the body is trying to put out, that can actually lead to diseases. So try to focus more on foods that are closer to nature. Number 5 on the list is unhealthy fats. These fats include oils such as trans fats or hydrogenated oils. These oils are so inflammatory. Make sure you're checking labels at the store. These oils can include, but not limited to, canola oil, vegetable oils. These oils are not only overly processed. Where in nature do you find a canola oil plant? You don't find it. You just don't. But these oils will cause inflammation and will just set you up for all types of disorders. As much as possible, you can replace these oils with healthy ones. Extra virgin olive oil is a great option. And not only that, but snacks such as walnuts, almonds, or seeds like flax seeds, they have natural oils within them that aid in an anti-inflammatory diet. And you'll find these things in nature. Just even if you get some raw nuts and you crush it up, you could feel the oil just in between your fingers. It's amazing. These are also great resources of omega-3, which can boost brain health and reduce inflammation. And that's one thing with inflammation. It will show up in any part of your body. If it's in your joints, arthritis, depending on where it's located, it has a different name, but same foundation, same root problem. So as mentioned, number 6 is a bonus, but this will take your anti-inflammatory diet regimen into a whole new level. So for number 6, It's green vegetables. They are such an essential part of an anti-inflammatory diet, especially for us women who are perimenopausal and menopausal. Green vegetables are packed with antioxidants that help combat inflammation brought on by our hormonal changes. They're also very high in both soluble and insoluble fibers, which promote gut health, which is very crucial for our overall wellness. Vegetables are rich in vitamins and minerals like vitamin K, magnesium, and calcium, just to name a few. They also support bone health, while they are low in calories, making it ideal for anyone who's trying to manage their weight or to lose weight, because our metabolism also changes. You may have had a very fast or high metabolism decades ago when you were younger, but as we age, our metabolism shifts as well. So adding greens to our meals is a simple and yet effective way to nourish the body and maintain this delicate hormonal balance. So the biggest takeaway here is that little changes can have major impact on our health. We could swap out foods that are causing different disorders, and we could replace them with foods that are actually nourishing to the body. Even if let's say if you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s and you haven't noticed any changes as of yet, those changes are coming. And always remember to invest in yourself. Invest in your health, because without it, what do you really have? Thanks again for taking the time just to hear about and to learn a little bit more about the importance of an anti-inflammatory diet and what we can do to swap out foods that are pro-inflammatory for foods that are anti-inflammatory for our overall health.